Okay, these are the topics to be discussed today. Already you have read all these topics. Some of the topics are more important for the prelims, and some of the topics are more relevant to mains exam. And so, one by one, some overall view we can see now from the international related news is about the Prime Minister's recent trip to Paris for two defense agreement. One is Rafael and Scorpion deal. Then another one, the Bangladesh has cancelled the recent visit of the judicial officer, which was already done in between India and Bangladesh government when Hasina was in power. Okay, so related that news. Then from the editorial, these are the different news are covered. The outlook for the India is in the year ahead, which means in 2025, how the India is going to rule, or India is going to deal with other neighboring countries. And another one is cases related to the previous 2 weeks before they shifted the painting which is related to 1971 India Pakistan war. Okay, that was shifted from army office to the conference hall, the army conference hall. So for that, some of the points has been discussed by author. Okay, then another one is the no secret affair related to economy. The nothing alarming. It's because it is related to the current outbreak, the disease of human metaphoroviruses in China. Okay, then the environment page, two newses are important. One is from the yesterday newspaper, another one is from today's newspaper. Okay, there is a bad flu has affected the animals, with especially the tigers and the leopards. Okay, and how they are going to deal with this bad flu disease in that animals, and how it is spread to these wild animals, that also discussed. Then these are the most interesting topics from the history background, where the Stalin government, the government of Tamil Nadu has announced $1 million prize to those who are decoding the Indus Valley script. And why it is in this news, and why it has been announced. So these are all discussed among these four topics. Then there is a small topic which is prelim point of view, which is more important. The tribal festival is celebrated in the Nilagiri tribe, Nilagiri, where Toda tribes are there. So what was the festival all about? This is what we have to discuss. And then economy, the topic is from yesterday newspaper. Okay, this topic already we have discussed enough. We have discussed means keep on discussing about the rupee and dollar relationship between the dollar and rupee relations during these days from the November and October, November and December and January. So why the rupee is weakening its value against the dollar? This is what the news. So we will see yesterday topic first, then we'll go one by one uh, about today's newspaper. Okay. Hmm. This is yesterday's newspaper. The why the rupee weakening against the dollar. So this is what last week we discussed. And December, around the dollar is Indian rupees against dollars around 85 rupees. Even it crossed 85.81 rupees against the dollar. Okay, which means it depreciated around 3%. Okay, there are two words are there: appreciation and depreciation. Appreciation means Indian rupee strengthening, against other foreign currency. Depreciation means Indian rupee is falling or weakening compared to other foreign currencies. So what are the cases? This already we discussed. You just recall there are two main external factors are there. One is importing the crude oil and the gold. Okay, this one. And the internal factors, and internally we are having the inflation issues, and some other countries also inflation issues there. And due to some war-like situation like Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine, and the Middle East, the Gaza, Israel, Palestine, Iran, and Hezbollah, these conflict. Okay, these are all the various factors which affects our Indian currency to depreciate. So in this paragraph, they are explaining why the depreciation, what is depreciation or how it is depreciating. For example, the price of any currency in the foreign exchange market, okay, is determined by the demand for that currency and the supply. Okay, and that means how much demand is there to the particular currency. That is what determined by the currency's value. So here they have explained, it is explained when the demand for the product rises. Okay, take any product, take our crude oil, or in India case, we can take gold also. Okay, so demand to the gold is very high in India. So whenever Akshaya Tritiya is coming, whenever the festival seasons are there, whenever the marriage seasons are there, where gold used to be purchased by the people. Okay, irrespective of whatever the price it is. So when the demand for the product rises, while its supply remain constant. Supply remain constant means the supply is there. Supply means we are importing the gold. That is constant. In this case, price of the product to rise. Okay, price of the product to rise, that has to be raised because demand is more, but supply is not, supply also not more. But it constantly we are purchasing certain amount from or importing the gold. So because of the demand, the price of the product is rising. Why? In order to ration the available supply. Okay, because you just keep in your mind. So the gold price has been keep on increasing month by month or day by day. Okay. See, in other hand, when the demand for a product drops, it's just opposite. Demand drops because nobody is like to buy gold. In per se, nobody is like to buy gold. So when the demand is dropped, which means the drop, while its supply remains constant, at the same time supply is there, but no one is buying. What will happen in this case? Seller to drop the price of the product, which means automatically the seller of the gold or wherever the gold business is going on, they have to reduce the price in order to attract sufficient buyers. So this is very simple. Whenever demand அதிகமா இருக்குது, supply கான்ஸ்டன்டா இருக்குது அப்படின்னா அத கான்ஸ்டன்ட் ரேஷியோ ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்றதுக்காக அதிகமா விலை வச்சு ஆகணும். So that is what keep on gold rates are increasing. இப்ப இது இன்னும் மாத்தி பேசணும் அப்படின்னா, இஃப் டிமாண்ட் இஸ் வெரி லோ, டிமாண்டே இல்ல, ஆனா கான்ஸ்டன்ட் சப்ளை இருந்துட்டு இருக்குது அப்படின்னா என்ன? Then there is one way to the seller, he has to reduce the price of the particular product. எதுக்கு ரெடியூஸ் பண்றாங்க? டு அட்ராக்ட் தி சஃபிஷியன்ட் அதை வாங்குறதுக்கு. ஓகேயா? இப்போ வந்து ஒரு வருஷமா யாருமே கோல்டு வாங்கல. இப்போ கோல்டு கீப் ஆன் தே ஃபிக்ஸ் த பிரைஸ் 7,500 7,000 or 7,500 rupees per gram அப்படியே இருந்துட்டு இருந்தா யாருமே வாங்கலன்னு வச்சுக்கோ. அரௌண்ட் இப்போ 1 pound is goes around 70,000. ஓகே, அப்ப யாருமே வாங்கல, then they have to reduce the price. 70 ல இருந்து ஒரு 50,000 குறைச்சிட்டாங்கன்னா automatically people start to buy. Okay, this is the market strategy, selling and buying strategy. So this is how the price is affecting the currency in one side. So but if you talk, this is when we are talking in terms of product. Okay, this is we are talking in terms of product. But in terms of currency, how it is being it is being measured, how it is depreciating, how it is appreciating means here this paragraph explains. So currency depreciation against a foreign currency means when a global market, the entire product talks or compare or related in terms of the currency. Either you buy a product by dollar or by your local currency. This is what determined. So which currency having more demand or which currency is having more value to exchange the products. This is what the currency depreciation and appreciation is being measured. Okay, so see, this is what the value of the foreign currency automatically appreciates. On the other hand, when here this is similar to how the purchasing power of your money depreciate or appreciate when the price of the goods in the marketplace rise or fall respectively. Simply, it has been explained. Your appreciation and depreciation money depends upon how your price of the goods rising or falling in the marketplace. Suppose, for example, India is having more crude oil or India is having more gold, then we will export to the other countries. Okay, if our gold or crude oil is more demand by the other countries, then they will purchase whatever the price we fixed. Okay, so automatically the foreign exchange will come into our foreign exchange reserve. Okay, yeah. So this is what the currency appreciation. Then so some of the reason it has been discussed. Why the current days the currency is depreciating or having our currency's value is weakening or our currency is having less value in the global market. One is the central banks following a tight monetary policy. There is another concept, monetary policy and a fiscal policy. Okay, so monetary policy is done by the central bank. In our case, it is RBI. So it has two different cases are there. One is tightening or loosening. Okay, or relax policy. Okay, or otherwise we can say in another term, contraction or expansion. Okay, so whenever there is an inflation, whenever there is inflation situation in India, then RBI follow tightening monetary policy. This one it will follow. Whenever inflation is less, then it is loosening or weakening or expansionary monetary policy. This is what. Okay, what is the impact of this tightening or expansionary monetary policy mean? Whenever high inflation is there, then the rate of interest will be very high. Okay, so people purchase parity. People, the money at the people hand will reduce or will be low during the inflation. So automatically they will reluctant or resistant to buy some products. Okay, some product in the case in India, whether it's an import product or indigenous product, anyhow the purchasing power is reducing. So this will indirectly affect our currency. Okay, this is another one. This is what here he says. One of the most important determinants of the supply of currency in the market is the monetary policy of the country's central bank. A central bank adopting loose monetary policy compared with other central bank will cause the supply of its currency in the market for both the goods trade and investment purpose to rise related to other currencies, causing currency value to drop. Okay, so central bank adopting relatively tighter monetary policy, on the other hand, are likely to see their currencies appreciate in value. Okay, அதாவது டைட் மானிட்டரி பாலிசி பண்ணா அப்ரிசியேட் ஆகும். எப்படி ஆகுங்கிறதுனா, ஓகே மணி வேல்யூ வந்து டைட் மானிட்டரி பாலிசி in the sense if we are having more money at people's hand, okay, so they keep on buying the product irrespective of whatever the amount is fixed there. So which means people are having more money. Okay, so paper value is more, but the quantity of money is more, but quality of money is reducing. This is what. So to reduce this one or to change this kind of situation in a country, RBI has to follow tighter monetary policy. The tighter monetary policy means already set increasing the rates. So there are too many rates are there: bank rates, repo rates, reverse repo rates. So every rates they will increase. So automatically, if interest rates are very high, then people are bound to pay more interest. Okay, another one, people are having less return for whatever the money they have saved in the bank deposit. Okay, so which means in all the money, the more money which are in the people's hand will go back to the RBI or central monetary system. Okay, this is what. And in this paragraph talks about what is behind the rupee fall. This is what already we have discussed enough. One is the high inflation. Okay, and the foreign investors are withdrawing their money. Okay, and because when the rupee is depreciation, then they will withdraw their money, their investment money from India, and they will invest into other countries. This one. Then high inflation, one of the reason. Again, attributed to higher inflation in India than to US due to Reserve Bank of looser monetary policy compared to the US. Another point, as a crude oil and gold, which boosts demand for the dollar and weakens the rupee to keep its economy going, and it's initially boost export, which can help boost demand for the rupee, have also contributed the luster of the performance of the rupee. Two reasons: the importing crude oil and gold, which also affect our currency to depreciate. So how RBI is acting in this paragraph? The RBI has been using its dollar reserve to the value of the rupee by artificially increasing the supply of dollars in the foreign exchange market, and thus dollar demand for rupees. Okay, they are one of the main aim of RBI is to regulate or to increase the value of the currency. So for that, it gives some certain measures. That's what the paragraph says. So because of this one, as a result, the value of Indian foreign currency reserves dropped to 8-month of low, around $640 billion. எங்க இருந்து அரௌண்ட் $70 billion இருந்து அரௌண்ட் $640 billion குறைஞ்சது. ஏன்னா ஆர்பிஐக்கு வேற வழி கிடையாது. ஏன்னா either என்ன we cannot do other measurement of other measurement, like we cannot reduce crude oil, import crude oil, we cannot reduce gold demand also. ஏன்னா சப்போஸ் சார் அதான் நிறைய கோல்டும் crude oil தானே கரன்சி வேல்யூ வந்து டிப்ரிசியேட் ஆகுது. அப்ப அதை குறைச்சிட்டா என்ன ஆகும்னு ஒரு கேள்வி வரலாம். if our country reducing the importing gold and crude oil, what will happen? People mind won't change. Okay, even if gold touch 1 lakh rupee per 1 lakh per pound for 8 grams, still they will buy. Okay, and if then government has to impose tax on that. Okay, so here and there the investing of money take its different direction, which will not help to boost our economy. So it's a wrong way of investing amount on the silent yellow metal. Another one, in another case, if India is reducing the importing crude oil, what will happen? Then the oil price will increase again. Once oil price are increasing, then vegetable, and then everything will increase. So it will automatically it leads to the inflation, higher inflation level. So instead of doing that one, RBI is spending its available dollar from its foreign exchange reserve to monitor, to modify or to regulate this currency depreciation. அதான் சொல்ல வருது. அதனாலதான் இதுல இருந்து அதாவது கஜானால இருந்து எடுத்து கொடுக்குறது. அதான் $700 billion இருந்த ஃபாரின் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் ரிசர்வ் எவ்வளவு $640 billion குறைஞ்சிருக்கு within these 8 months. Okay, and so at the same time, the economic analysis, they believe that the rupee's depreciation would have been far worse if not for the RBI intervention to support the rupee against the dollar. They have put responsibility over RBI. So RBI traditionally it has to manage the rupee exchange value in such a way to follow the gradual depreciation in the value without too much volatility that could disturb the economy. So so maximum they will the RBI will try to keep the currency in the certain level. It won't go for the very low level which would disturb the economy, which already happened in the 1990s. Okay, and the economists they are telling. So these are the points. This entire article is very useful in terms of prelim and mains. So some of the terms it's very new because you didn't study the monetary policy and fiscal policy and what is inflation, how it is affecting. Okay, simply you understood the current currency of India is depreciating because of various factors. One is inflation, another one is the inflation also because of the crude oil and gold, and we are importing gold and crude oil. For that we need to spend in dollars, and some other problems going on in the worldwide, like the wars. Okay, there in some countries inflation also happening, going on. So these are the various factors are affecting our currency depreciation. This is what about this article. So idhula yarukavadhu doubt iruka? So we'll move to the next topic. It's about the environment one. This is also more important. For this topic, you write it separately, certain points. Okay, this is one report which was released in the year 2023. Every 2 years, they will the Department of Health will release this report. The report name is called the State of Forest Report SFR 2023. It talks about the current environment status and situation in India. Okay, and it is released by the Union Environment Ministry of Environment and the Forest Research Institute in Dehradun. Some other exams like NTPC or TNPC. So they used to ask the questions like one word current affair. The Foreign Research Institute is in where it is there, the Dehradun. Okay, and biennial exercise every 2 years it will come into practice. They will release, and what the report actually is having. This is what all in bulletin point which means the forest and tree covers. So one is 25.17%, 25.17% forest and tree cover. So in this 25.17%, the forest cover is as per the data 21.76. இந்த அளவுக்கு மனப்பாடம் பண்ண தேவையில்லை. But if you give such kind of confidential input mentioned in the essay or mains exam, then it is too better. And the tree cover is 3.41%. Then one more analysis they have given in the 2021, as per the 2021 report. Okay, the forest cover is about 21.71. So 21.71% இருந்து 21.76% changed. Okay, and again the tree cover is from 2.91 to 3.41. Okay, these are the data in the previous report. And some of the state, the two different group you can mention, the Chhattisgarh and Uttar Pradesh and Odisha. Okay, in these state the forest cover, tree cover in these are the forest and tree cover increased, but the Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka and Ladakh, Union Territory and Nagaland, they have dropped the tree cover, forest and tree cover has dropped. Okay, these are the data. Now, what is green cover? The forest cover in India means the definition of what is green cover. The forest cover in India means an area of the hectare or more with a tree canopy or more than equal to 10%, irrespective of ownership and legal status. Okay, as per the report, the green forest cover அப்படின்னு சொன்னா the green canopy na மேல இருந்து பாப்போம்ல. Okay, green canopy of more than or equal to 10%, but irrespective of ownership, அது private land இருக்கலாம் or government ஓட இருக்கலாம். Okay, any legal status இருக்கலாம், whatever it is. Satellite data பொறுத்தவரை green cover has taken as a measurement. Okay, then and likewise is the forest cover. Specifically tree cover means refer to all the trees, இதுல எல்லாமே வந்து all the tree patches exist outside the forest area which occupies less than 1 hectare இருந்தாலும் கூட, including எதெல்லாம் the scattered trees found in the rural and urban settings. Okay, இது எல்லாமே it will comes under tree cover. ஸ்கேட்டர்னா ஈச்செல்லாம் ஒரு இடத்துல ஒரு கொஞ்ச இடத்துல கொஞ்சம் மரம் இருக்கும், அப்புறம் கொஞ்சம் இடத்துல தள்ளி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் மரம் இருக்கும். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் these are all comes under tree covers. So these are the two category these percentages are talking about, 21.76% and 3.41%. Okay, and how these data are measured or taken by using this mixture of satellite data and the National Forest Inventory data. Okay, and this paragraph talks about how the sensitive areas are fought. In 2014, the Indian government first notified the Western Ghats ecosystem area. Okay, along the country's west coast under the Environment Protection Act 1986. Environmental Protection Act 1986 பயன்படுத்தி the Western Ghat area அந்த Western Ghat ecosystem sensitive area னு ஒரு ஏரியா கிரியேட் பண்றாங்க for special protection. அதுல அப்புறம் எப்ப 2014. So after 10 years, around 9 years, 2023 the State Forest Report analyzed those area protection கொடுத்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் the Western Ghats area have lost 52.22 square kilometer of forest cover. சரியா? While the cover of very dense forest increased, those of moderate dense open அதெல்லாம் விட்டுருங்க. Okay, then the nearby at the same time the Nilagiri forest are part of the Western Ghat eco-sensitive area and the UNESCO biosphere. Which one? Nilagiri is a part of that WGEZA. Yes. So between 2013 and 23, within 10 years, it lost around 123.44 square kilometer of forest cover. So Nilagiri district reported a fourfold increase in the number of forest fire from 2020 to 23 to 23 to 24. So forest fire. So இப்ப உங்களுக்கு என்ன இந்த டேட்டா என்ன சொல்லுதுன்னா, even though the legal protection has been given, why the forest cover is decreasing? So இது ஒரு analytic point you have to give answer. Okay, data is very clearly, it says the government is declared certain area as a sensitive area under the Environmental Protection Act, and again in specifically some Nilagiri forest, some forests are comes under the by UNESCO biosphere. At the same time, the same biosphere is having the witnessed with lots of too many forest fire within 1 year. So it will affect the forest cover and other biosphere also, other ecosystem also. So how it has to be stopped? In this point of view, we have to analyze one. And out of this forest talks about the mountain forest or the other canopy of the village or rural or some other area at the same time. So what about the tidal forest? So tidal forest, specifically the types are mangroves. Okay, these are the tropical trees in the intertidal zone. அதாவது கடலும் நல்ல நீரை வந்து சேர்ற இடத்துல உள்ளது, அதான் mangrove forest னு சொல்லுவோம். Okay, like in Chennai, the Pichavaram is there. There mangroves are there. So mangroves forests are having more advantages. Okay, it will stabilize the coastline and mitigate erosion. தடுக்கும், கடல் அரிப்பை தடுக்குது. கோஸ்ட் லைனை ஸ்டெபிலைஸ் பண்ணி வைக்கும், அதாவது அதை டிக்ரீஸ் பண்ணாம இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணாம ஸ்டெபிலைஸ் பண்ணி வைக்கிறது. அண்ட் இட் என்கரேஜ் பயோடைவர்சிட்டி. ஏன்னா wherever the mangroves are more, where biodiversity is more, lots of species will be there. And it shield coastal communities from sea level rise. கடல் மட்டம் உயர்றது வந்து தடுக்கும். ஏன்னா கடல் மட்டம் உயர்றதுனாலே அந்த நியர்பை ஏரியா will be affected. Okay, and it will temper the fury of cyclone. Okay, it will the cyclone whenever it cross near or moving towards to the seashore, the mangrove forest will reduce its the speed of the waves, and it will not allow the sea water enter into the land. Okay, land means agriculture land or where people are living. Okay, so these are various advantages of mangrove forest. So data shows the mangrove covers have decreased from 7.43 square kilometer from 2021 alone. Adla maximum the Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra increased their statewide share, but Gujarat, Kutch areas are reported significant decrease. So now, so to improve this mangrove forest, to improve the where the areas are protected under Environmental Protection Act. So what are the steps has to be taken from the people side and the government side and the policy side? This is what we have to write as an answer. Okay, and one more area has been mentioned in the northeast side, 7 state we used to say now. So northeast occupies less than 8% of the India's total land area. At the same time, they are having more than 21% of its tree and forest cover. So as per the report of State Forest Report 2023, the tree and forest cover in the region shrunk by 323.3 kilometers. So overall, Pathana, entire report talks about decrease in the forest and tree covers. So idoda impact enna irukum. Okay, and how it is applicability if you are talking about the carbon reducing level. So this is discussed in this paragraph. Okay, for example, here the trees become the popular solution for climate mitigation. To reduce the climate related problem, the trees are the most popular solution. At the same time, the trees means what type of trees? This is what we have to discuss. First, not all the ecosystem are suited for the trees. Okay, all the systems are suited for the trees, for damaging them, planting trees. Okay, wherever you plant small trees which will not collectively help to reduce the carbon level or reduce the global warming. This is what its report says. Another one point, only the native and mature species in the right environment can sequester carbon efficiently. Okay, only the native and mature species. Mature is nalla valandha marangal or species. அது மட்டும் தான் கார்பன் அப்சர்வ் பண்ண முடியாது, கார்பன் sequester efficiently. Young trees of those unsuitable for the environment either wouldn't help as much, not அதாவது plantation level உள்ள trees won't help this one. And another one, the report is definition of forest include the orchards, bamboo and palm. Okay, so these are all not this one by what they are telling about these trees. By including plantations, orchards and palms and non-native ecosystem, it erases the distinction between natural forest and monoculture. Okay, because they are also similar trees in the particular area. Okay, but this one will not help that much. That is why this aggression misrepresent forest health. Okay, obscure deforestation and degradation, and offers distorted view of what really what kind of priorities is given. Okay, so this has to be taken care while taking the report. And this one talks about how it is dealing with the climate action. So in 2022, India committed to increase its carbon stock by 2.5 to 3 billion tons through additional forest and tree cover by 2030 in Varlai. So அது fulfill ஆயிட்டாங்கிறது அடுத்த ரிப்போர்ட் தெரியும். ஆனா at the same time 2023 ரிப்போர்ட் என்ன சொல்லுதுன்னா The current stock of this variety is around 30.4 billion tons. According to SFR 2023, India increased its carbon stock by 81.5 million tons, and the growing stock, the sum of all the trees living or growing in the forest, by 4.25% between 2020. So it's the only positive step, okay, from the government side. But expert என்ன சொல்லுங்க, the report does not say anything about the quality of forest contributing to increase the forest cover. Okay, some environmentalists, what they say, whatever, even though if you are saying the carbon stock has been increased, okay, okay, increase means it's not a positive, it's a negative one, okay, that we have to reduce, sorry. So the expert says the report does not anything talks about the quality of forest, so that it will reduce the quantity of the carbon has been reduced. So key ecological indicators such as forest fragmentation, biodiversity, health are missing in that report. So in next report it should be taken care of, okay. And these are the points about this state forest report 2023. So next report has to come 2025, so where they have to include these missing data, okay. Then next one, time is running. This is one of the most important topic today. The government is announcing $1 million prize for decoding Indus Valley script. So already you know about what is Indus Valley civilization, okay, and it is one of the most famous civilization among in the ancient time, which means before Common Era, in the BCE, okay. And it's a separate topic from the ancient India also, we will study thoroughly. But here, why the news around 4 topics are related to this one, why the news has been taken to, today is in the newspaper means, or we say in different way, why the government is giving or encouraging to those who are decoding Indus Valley script by providing monetary benefit of around $1 million. The reason is, it's a centenary year has been celebrated by government of Tamil Nadu, okay. And one of the famous archaeologists in called John Marshall, okay. So for that a statue has been made, and this is what it remains the mystery even after 100 years of archaeologists. So the reason Indus Valley civilization having many features are there, and one of the features, they are having script. The script is called pictographic script. Pictographic script, which means the scripts are in a pictorial format. Okay, these scripts are mentioned on the seals, okay. Indus seal, we will call it Indus seal, or in Tamil solana muttaren solvala, like that, Indus seals. So where the top la vandu varanjirpaanga ellame padampadama irukum, okay. Pictographic representation la irukum, okay. So now, yeah, but till now it is very difficult to decode what is written or what they are actually. So for that, lots of research, lots of archaeologists are trying to decode it. And previously, the history has been made to believe that Aryan and their language Sanskrit is the origin of India before the Indus Valley civilization excavation started. After the Indus Valley civilization came into light, it was proved that before Aryan, there was a great civilization with a well established or well matured civilization, that was IVC. But it was very difficult to know more information through their script or language. So if we decode their language, then much more knowledge, much more information will be came into light to understand about the entire civilization. So for that, the government is encouraging. Now next question, why Tamil Nadu government is encouraging. Why then so many governments are there, or central government is there all together? So why instead of taking interest by central government, why Tamil Nadu government is taking this much interest? Because the some of the research or some of the articles found from the Keeladi and Sivagasi and some other places where excavation going on, where which are related to Sangam literature. So where the pots, mud pots, you know. So where the pots having the symbols or the crafty marks which are similar to the marks which are found or which are available in the seal also. So they are coming to a indirect conclusion there would be a link between the Tamil South culture with the northern culture or Indus Valley. Okay, or there would be a link between the Sangam age and the IBC, or again they go beyond some extent. The historian says that the people may have moved from the south to the Indus side. This is what lots of things are going on, but does not have the valid proof. Okay, so to encourage, to uncover this proof, the government is encouraging. This is what. And see, Indus Valley civilization predated Aryan civilization, and the language spoken in the Indus Valley could be Dravidian, has been strengthened further. Okay, அந்த லாங்குவேஜ் வந்து ஒரு டிராவிடியன் லாங்குவேஜா இருக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு கன்க்ளூஷன் கிடைக்கும், இல்ல அதுதானான்னு பாக்குறதுக்காக it has been encouraged. And this is what similar to this one. இந்த paragraphல என்னன்னா, the primary research focused on how Indus seals were made and used. The seals were made up of very long period. Inscription could be seen on many of them. அதான் Indus seal சொன்னேன்ல, that is made up of statite material, அதாவது மாவுக்கல் மாதிரி ஒன்று. ஸோ இதுல டாப்ல எழுதியிருக்கும், இங்க நிறைய படங்கள் இருக்கும், சில so many seals are there. அப்ப இதுல என்ன இருக்கும்ங்கிறத கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது தான். And some comparison has been done here in summary of what is IBC. No other contemporary civilization of the Indus Valley based on sophisticated lifestyle. This we will see in the class. And there are no temples, already you know, no pyramids. Burials were there, but no pyramids like Egyptian civilization. Kadayadu. Ena, on the time, the contemporary civilization during the Indus Valley civilization, yarna, Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamia civilization, then after that, Chinese civilization. Okay, but if these, especially the IBC, does not have any temples, and temple irundadukana idu kadayadu, no pyramids and no palace at the Indus Valley civilization. Fort irundu, okay, the okay, the citadel solum, the fort was there in the western side and eastern side, especially the Harappan area, but other sides there is no palace because so many other sites are there. But there were idella illama, what was there? There was a garbage bins, a proper drainage system, well planned street in a grid pattern, okay, and granary, private bathing areas and wells. So these are all the features of Indus Valley civilization in short form. இதை அப்படி தனியா நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. And what the Balakrishnan, he says, the Sangam literature had polymerase terms, அதாவது மேல், மேற்கு, கீழ், கிழக்கு, இதை வந்து ரெஃபர் பண்றாரு. அந்த சம் பாட்ல இருந்து கிடைச்சது. Again, the Uday Chandran IAS, he is also talking about Indus Valley. These are all nothing. These are all nothing. Similarly, come here. He said that Indus Valley civilization had several features similar to Dravidian civilization. He is comparing the Indus Valley civilization to Dravidian civilization. If there was a civilization with materials, script and literature similar to those of the Indus Valley civilization, it was a Dravidian civilization. But அது proof பண்ண வேண்டியிருக்குது. எப்படி? To study the crafty marks on the mud pots to understand the script of the Indus Valley civilization. The crafty marks found on the pots in Keeladi, Sivagalai and other areas are similar with the one of the Indus Valley findings. அதனால so அது என்னன்னு தெரிஞ்சுன்னா it is easy to come to one conclusion. And if one kept in mind the urban civilization, architecture, mud pots, transport facilities and commerce, it had all the features of the fiction but the script of the civilization remained undermined even after 100 years. That is what the government is taking step or encouraging the people to decipher. And this one very simple. The Omar Khan, he has already started one website called Harappa.com. He's giving suggestion by using AI tools. Okay, so AI has the potential and scope to assist scholars and researchers deciphering the script of the Indus Valley civilization. So this is what about this point. And you can also go to his website to know about more information related to Harappa. Lots of pics are there, some research articles are there, you can read. Okay, this is today's first page newspaper related to international relation. So he is going to the Paris trip, and where the government is going to sign for a defense deal. One is the Rafale jet and Scorpion submarine. Okay, it's a government to government deal. Lots of deal already we have seen. Government to government, government to business, business to business. This is a government to government, because government to government deal is so fast, more faster to get into implementation. Okay, so these are the summary shopping list, like the 26 Rafale M fighter jet for the Navy aircraft. This one, 3 more Scorpion class conventional submarines. Okay, these deals are going to sign. And the prelim point of view, this one is important. The last, the Vaxir is one of the submarine, one of the six submarine from the aerial contact. 5 has been included. The last one of the Vaxir. The same again, same. And the already having we are two aircraft carrier. One is INS Vikramaditya from Russia, procured from Russia. Indigenously we build one aircraft carrier, that is INS Vikrant. Okay, it is started its operation from 2022. The random Vikramaditya from Russia we have purchased, we have procured from Russia, but INS Vikrant is our it's indigenously we made by India. This one. Then this topic is about the quarantine animals with the bad flu symptoms. Recently, the tigers and leopard has been affected. India's first case of avian influenza among animals. The case is H5N5 virus. It is called bad flu. Okay, so how it is? So there is the reason how it has been spread means. This is the reason. There may be a reason. It's not a solid one. There may be the chicken served to them could be the reason for the disease, but they are in they have to get the proper report. Okay, and so the avian influenza has been found in the cattle, goats, as well as in wild species, particularly in tigers. So lots of preventive measures government is taking. Okay, they have to quarantine. They have to then the veterinary doctors and laborers, those who are in the zoos, and they have to be in proper following their procedures in and around the wild area. Then this is the today's editorial page. He's a former Intelligence Bureau director, one of the more famous writers, that M.K. Narayanan. And he is talking about how is India's relationship with the other neighboring countries. This is what he is giving explanation. And in the entire article, if you read, you know, wow, everything is common. You know, first he is talking about globally India's economic growth and political, both are unstable. One, and India is always in the side of peaceful atmosphere. Second, then yeah, the worldwide political uncertainty is going on around the in the Europe and West Asia, but India is doing better with the neighboring countries by bilateral talks. He is mentioning with China recently. The last month, India has agreement with China. The border issue, the disengagement border issue, Okay, and they started the special representative talk. This one at the same time, some missing also happening from the Indian side. This is what this entire paragraph he is talking about. One is neighbor Bangladesh. The political unrest is going on, but India could not able to solve properly. They, because last class we were seeing about the Bangladesh government, the temporary government is interim government is demanding India to send Sheikh Hasina, but India is still, and Bangladesh is stopping the judicial officers to visit. That's another one Bangladesh side, and so neighboring policy somewhat not in favor of India, or we, instead of saying not favor India, India is taking some of the stand on its own in foreign policy. Then both Nepal and Sri Lanka, he's using the term fair weather friends. Fair weather friends means someone who is friendly and helpful only when it is advantageous to them. Okay. Okay, what that means, fair and weather friend means these countries are with India whenever they need help. Another one, Maldives. Again, the problem is going on. Then Pakistan always it is inimical to India. Inimical, unfriendly to India. Afghanistan totally both. We did not mind Afghanistan nowadays. Then Bhutan under present king. Okay, it's not that much good relationship with India compared to the previous king. After the change of political scenario there, this current present king is in favor of China. Okay, so these we cannot consider these are all worrying to Indian foreign policy. India is in such a place now. These small neighboring countries are not affected to India. Okay, anyhow, these countries need India's help at present situation. But he simply says, okay, these are the things are in and around. But one more point is important here. If we did not keep these neighboring countries in our control or in our dependency, then it may be taken care by the China. Okay, a counter react to India, so they may fall into their hand. This is what the point is noted here. Okay, and so come to in the conclusion, this entire paragraph talks about the Middle East, like in Iran and the Arab countries, the relation he is talking about. That's no need. And the overall, the final conclusion is very important. The digital threat is the one of the major global issue, especially during 2025. You know, even 2024, the Israel and the Palestine conflict, because of the cyber security failure, they could not predict the properly. And so, and again, he has highlighted in especially the cyber attacks happening in India. There was a dramatic rise in cyber attacks occurring in India in the recent period. Okay, especially almost all major companies and government institutions were hit by denial of services and ransomware attacks. So, idella how we are going to deal, because internationally the small countries can be used to shoot a cyber attack against India. So, for that we must have a strong base to tackle such kind of things. This is what he has explained. In a same similar thing. So how we are going to protect the personal data also from our Indian side. So recently they have drafted a bill rule, the digital personal data protection rule, and because Supreme Court says you should enforce the fundamental rights to informational privacy for the Indians. So for that, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act passed. Okay, as per the act, how we have to, what are the issues are there, how these issues has to be solved, for especially how the online service will be required to communicate the purpose of their data collection to user, safeguard children's data online, establish data protection board of India. Okay, for what purpose? To set a standard for government agency to follow, to exempt from the act's provisions, and spell out the procedures to be observed if personal data is breached by the data fiduciary. So data fiduciary means the நம்பிக்கைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, நம்பிக்கைக்குரியவர். So அதை எப்படி இது பண்றது? So for that, some of the proposal is given by this rule and by that act also. And there is a committee called R.N. Krishna committee. The Krishna committee, they convened to draft the first bill for the data protection. The government they keep on declining to take that recommendation. So at last it says it is essential for the government to proceed with these principles in mind as per the recommendation. Okay, for minimizing data collection, promoting disclosures, penalizing the neglecting protection user data, discouraging surveillance practices both by private sector and the government. Okay, because nowadays data are more important. By using the data are misused by many institutions and agencies. So for that, a proper platform is needed to protect this one. And this is talks about recently there is a virus spread out in China, the human metapneumovirus, especially it affects children and elder people. And lots of news are there, but what China says, yes, these viruses are normal during the cold season, winter season. Okay, and it is already there in the 2021, I think so. Wait a minute, 2001 onwards, it is there in the world, because the HMP virus was first identified in children 2001 in the Netherlands. Infection with HMP usually occurs by the age of 5 years, with the reinfection occurring throughout life as immunoprotection induced by the virus too weak to prevent repeated infection. Rather, totally depends upon the immune system. The virus causes upper or lower respiratory tract infection similar to COVID. Okay, and but China says these are happen usually pathogens that are expected during this season. But globally, but what the World Health Organization, what is globally 3 to 10% of hospital admissions and 1% is acute lower respiratory infection related death in children under age 5 2008 are attributed to HMPV as per the 2021 paper. Another, no need to panic, but need to be in preventive, need to take preventive step. Okay, இது யாருக்கு வந்து higher threat அப்படின்னா, especially those in low and lower middle income countries. இந்த countries சொல்றதை விட low and middle income families கூட சொல்லிக்கலாம், are greater risk of death caused by HMPV virus. So detection of இதுல இன்னொரு ப்ராப்ளம் என்னன்னா, detection of large number of HMPV cases among children age less than 14 years in China is reflection of the heightened surveillance and testing for virus. On the contrary, India does not have any approved inexpensive tests that are widely available for the diagnosing the virus. இதுதான் இந்தியாவுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய ப்ராப்ளம். We have to strengthen our health system. Okay, and when testing of HMPV in patient with acute respiratory disease should be routine, as the virus has been in circulation for years globally, including India, and fatality is 1% in young children. India is only now expanding the number of laboratories. இப்பதான் expand பண்றாங்க. எது urgently needed அப்படின்னா, what is also urgently needed is regulatory framework that facilitate rapid approval of diagnostic test in context of local and global outbreak of novel and less known pathogens. தெரிஞ்சோ தெரியாத நோய் கிருமிகளை ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணக்கூடிய ஒரு டயக்னோஸ்டிக் டெஸ்ட் கிட் நம்மகிட்ட இருக்கணும். அப்படி இருந்தாலும் இது இந்த வைரஸ் இதுக்குள்ள ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் அப்படின்னு போக முடியும். அதுதான் ஆர்டிகிள் சஜஸ்டிங். ஓகே, Then this one is very simple news. The symbolism must not be become misplaced. என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, already I said no. The painting of surrender of Pakistan army to India 1971 வார்ல வந்து சரண்டர் ஆயிருப்பாங்க பாகிஸ்தான் ஆர்மி வந்து இந்தியாட்ட. அதை வந்து பெயிண்டிங் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. அந்த பெயிண்டிங் எங்க இருந்திருக்கும் அப்படின்னா, இந்தியன் சீஃப் ஆஃப் த இந்தியன் ஆர்மியோட ஆபீஸ் காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ்ல இருந்திருக்கும். அதை தூக்கி எங்க எங்க கொண்டு வைக்கிறாங்கன்னா, ஒரு கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் ஹால் ஒன்று வச்சிருப்பாங்க. has been relocated to the conference center named after ஃபீல்டு மார்ஷல் மேனக்ஷா. அவர் அங்க கொண்டு வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அது ஏன் அப்படி வைக்கணும், அங்க இருந்தா என்ன அப்படிங்கிற, அது என்னத்தெல்லாம் கொடுக்கும் அப்படிங்கறத இந்த ஆர்டிகல் எக்ஸ்பிளைன். பிகாஸ் in any symbolism from the top level that talks about its identity, its leadership, its direction, its state and competency. அதான். So இதோட கதை இங்க இருக்கு. Around 93,000 soldiers were surrendered. Okay, இதான். Then at last, this one festival is in news. The festival is called as then is the Modworth festival. It's celebrated by a Nilagiri tribe, okay, called the Thoda tribe. Even every year, the first week of January, they will celebrate the new year, which is called the beginning of the new year cycle for them. That is what. So prelim point of view, the Modworth festival is celebrated by the Thoda tribe in the Nilagiri around the villages. Okay, and this is what. So these are all the today's topics we have discussed. So you all go through once the newspaper clips, you read it once, then take some notes wherever I have highlighted those points. You take notes. Okay. And tomorrow we don't have the current affair class, the Hindu newspaper tomorrow going to Trichy campus to inaugurate Prime AS Academy. Wednesday we will meet once again. If any topics are more important in the tomorrow's newspaper, that will be added in the day after tomorrow newspaper analysis. Okay, yeah. So time is almost up. So we'll leave then.